We have been provided with the absolute goods. 2 tournaments are coming to the story of Kengan Omega. You may be thinking this is just bad writing, all Sandovich can do is do tournaments. True, I don't care if he wanted to continue making various tournaments for the remainder of the series. I personally wouldn't even complain. That's what got me into Kengan, the Annihilation Tournament. Purgatory vs Kengan did have some downsides throughout, but as a whole I still enjoyed it, and now we have confirmation of 2 more. First up, we have something known as the Berserker Ball, featuring both Kengan and Purgatory fighters. This tournament doesn't have any high stakes or any overlying objective to it, just a entertaining tournament, being more so dedicated to highlight the current power of some returning characters and what some new characters are capable of, while the other tournament in the future, a new Kengan Annihilation tournament, will be the all-out crazy one we've all been waiting for. But let's first talk about the participants of the Berserker Ball. We have Cosmo finally doing something in Omega. Based on the current lineup, my prediction is Cosmo's going to win so long no other relevant character enters. For example, if like Yarn or Wulong somehow enter under like a alias, that could be bad news for him. We have Himuro finally getting some shine. He's been, hyped up quite a bit throughout Omega, at least in comparison to what he did in Ashura, so him going all out and seeing what he's capable of is, going to be pretty cool. Saw Pangus fighting. These 3 characters missed out on the Purgatory tournament, so seeing them is going to be pretty cool. We have the return of Falcon, and Falcon may be, a little bit of a dark horse. He's now finished Naruto Shippuden, and he may have been training with his rival Rito and the Hokage Kuroki over the time skip, so, don't count out Falcon. Of course, we have Koga and Ryoki. Koga will most likely shine throughout this tournament, but I don't think he's any match for the likes of Ko and Cosmo. Ryoki will be most likely mentally and rule nerfed due to not being able to kill, so that will limit him in some regard. He may shock us, but I don't think Ryoki is going to win. And then we pretty much have all the other remaining supernovas. Most likely going to have some cool fights, but won't be really that relevant in winning. Maybe Kim, the Taekwondo user, who's also an A-list gladiator, he could do something pretty crazy. He was going to replace Dongchen during the Purgatory tournament, so he is definitely quite powerful and respected by the likes of Lo Long. So Kim may be, an underdog and someone out of nowhere. It's confirmed that there's a total of 25 people trying to get into that tournament. So long none of the other people we haven't seen yet aren't people like Hatsumi, Ray, or characters like Worms and stuff like that. I think Cosmo is my safe bet for winning this tournament. Sword Pang may do something crazy, especially if it's a Purgatory ring. Man may just blow it up with his Hammer of Burma. But Cosmo, even learning Foresight back in Kengan Ashura, which was 4 years ago in the world of Kengan I believe at this point, he's going to be absolutely monstrous. Not too much of a fan of his haircut going back to this, but I think most people can agree that Cosmo is currently the favourite to win this thing in overall where he should be sitting power wise, unless Himuro kinda shocks everyone as he's been kinda getting those crazy hints throughout the series, including beating up ZG, so yeah, we have all that. Before I continue, if you're a fan of any series I cover on the channel, maybe hit that subscribe button, it's greatly appreciated. Also leave a like, it helps the video out. Other things we learned in Kengan Omega chapter 160 is that current Koga is still no match for Oma. Even while learning about Inception of Intent from Kano and Lo Long, all Oma needs to do is hide the Inception in Koga's blind spot, then pretty much neg him like that, with him also teaching Koga this move. So they've most likely been sparring quite a bit, as Kazi pretty much points out, which to me means Oma probably low diff Koga in that fight we didn't get to see before the recent time skips, which is to be expected, and I doubt Oma's going to be entering the Berserker Ball. But regarding the new Kengan Annihilation tournament, people who could have issued the start of it is of course Retsudo, the son of Mitsudo. He's shown interest in wanting to become the head, and if he's going to be part of it, we may see the Fang of Retsudo. That could be pretty interesting, unless he takes over as the Mitsudo in that regard. That could be pretty cool as well. We see Nogi talking about the reason for the tournament starting being people not being too thrilled about the alliance between Kengan and Purgatory. with most of the employers keeping their best fighters out of the Berserker Brawl in hopes of entering them into the Kengan Annihilation Tournament, which is the reason Seki isn't entering the Berserker Brawl. He's saving himself for the Annihilation Tournament, which is going to be pretty cool. All the top Purgatory fighters, such as, I guess, Lolong, Dorota, Carlos, stuff like that, aren't entering the Brawl to most likely save for the Annihilation Tournament. So yeah, this new tournament, whenever it happens, is going to be some insanity. We could even see the return of Kuroki, Hatsumi and Rei again, Gaolang, the other fighters from Team Kengan and Purgatory who I haven't mentioned, Oma, stuff like that. It really depends whether the whole worm stuff gets fully concluded before the Annihilation Tournament, which I'm personally hoping for. If the worms are going to mess up another tournament, I would prefer it be the Berserker one rather than a new Annihilation Tournament, but can't really control that. Another thing I really want to talk about is the reason Ryoki entered the tournament is because he wants to fight Koga, wants to see if he's weaker or stronger than current Koga, which will most likely happen during the tournament, and I get the sense that Koga is most likely going to defeat Ryoki, and that will result in Ryoki's mini arc potentially leaving Koga to train, or maybe fully being corrupted by the likes of Akoya and Kiryu potentially. That could be some possibilities for the future of the story, but again, it's possible some worms could be involved and that could connect to Ryoki and mess things up regarding that as well, but I personally hope not. Let me know down below who you personally think is going to win the tournament. Do you agree with me that Cosmo? Do you think Himura is going to shock everyone? Maybe Sorpang will be a powerhouse? Do you think Koga has got it? Or maybe even one of the other supernovas? That could be a pretty big shock. Who knows what Sandovich is going to do? The ultimate Twistmaster, impossible predictions. We'll just have to wait and see. I think this whole setup chapter pretty much confirms that Kengan Omega still has a very long way to go. It isn't ending anytime shortly. This new tournament probably won't be as long as the Purgatory tournament, which lasted a whole year of chapters. I think maybe a few months of chapters. There is still tons of other stuff left in the story regarding the Worm, Kurei, Wu clans, all the stuff like that. So maybe there's even over 200 chapters left for Kengan Omega, or maybe even longer if Sandovich just wants to keep spitting out tournaments. And if the new Annihilation tournament is just as long, even longer than the Ashura one, we could have even more insanity regarding the length of Omega. Unless they kind of destroy it pacing wise and we don't even get to see a lot of the fights, which will be of course very disappointing, but I still have faith. That should be everything for today's video. As always, check out all the other stuff in the description, Discord if you want to talk more about any series I cover on the channel or just need chapter links, and of course shout out to the mad lads who support the channel via the Patreon. But yep, that's it guys, peace.